What is going on, everybody? It appears we are live. And we just tried this 1 second ago, but I forgot to turn on the microphone. So hopefully if anybody joins the chat, you can let me know if you can hear me okay. I am painting RUMBLESLAM. Looks like we got somebody. If you can hear me okay, let me know in the comments. Also, if you're painting or working on anything, let me know. Doing a really simple painting thing tonight where I'm going to just do kind of a one coat base coat and a one pass highlight, and probably not even a wash or anything on the masks here. But I readjusted my light above me here, which usually is facing that direction. But it makes it a little hard to paint this direction with the camera. So now the video probably looks a little worse, but I can see what I'm painting a little better. So it's a compromise, I guess. If you have any hobby questions or anything, let me know in the chat. Trying to get these RUMBLESLAM guys finished up. And that way I can glue them to their bases, hit them with the matte coat, and get photos of them for Instagram tomorrow. So that'd be cool. I haven't been finishing too many projects. Well, I got a few projects I finished, but I haven't taken photos of them yet for Instagram. So my Instagram's been lacking a little bit. Right now I'm just base coating with Celestra Gray, which is my favorite gray from GW. So with the lighting like that, we can't see nothing if I hold it up to the camera. But then I'm going to highlight with Pallid Witch Flesh on their little face masks here. So it does seem, even though it was never good when I would hold it up to the camera before, it's even worse in this position. Maybe I'll find the will during this quarantine to learn how to use the nice camera I have in that box right there, which is like a Panasonic something. And then we can actually maybe start getting good photos, maybe an actual good painting stream. That'd be cool. Right now I'm using the Logitech, I think it's like C90, which I think is what Kenny Boucher uses. I think he said he uses webcams. I don't know if he uses this exact one or a newer one. But he manages to get close-ups and good images of his painting. So I would like to learn how to do that. If you've watched a while, you know I'm not terribly interested in learning how to video edit, but it probably would be beneficial to learn some minimal editing skills. Fun fact today, I always drink a big green smoothie. At least I've been doing it for quite a few weeks now. Every day. I already finished today. And today I used mustard greens, which were disgusting. It tasted like liquid hot lava or fire with a mustard flavor throughout my whole smoothie. The smoothie had 2 bananas, an orange, a mandarin, apples, 2 green apples, some frozen berries, like all kinds of things to try to make it sweet and yummy, like I normally drink with my green smoothies. which work perfect with like kale and spinach and dandelion and baby lettuce, arugula, all those. But these mustard greens were like horseradish fire and so disgusting. I had to dump out the whole smoothie, which is a bummer because right now it's a pain in the butt to go to the store. Because every time you leave the house, you're putting yourself at risk to get corona. Or more risk anyway. So I wasted all this fresh produce, made this disgusting smoothie. I had to dump it out. And then I still drink 2 liters a day. So I had to make another one. And that one was delicious. I went with an Old Faithful, kind of a sunflower. Well, it's like a peanut butter and chocolate banana peanut butter jelly kind of thing. So it's like blueberries, chocolate protein powder, bananas, and peanut butter, but I used sunflower seed butter because that's what I have currently. And it was delicious, but it was just a bummer that the first one came out so bad. And that's the first time that happened. Normally, I can drink through any amount of green smoothie because I love it. So, just, I know we can't see. But anyway, they have little face masks on. Maybe you can see on the box art. Nah, not really. Anyway, they're like little clowns, like a wrestling team. And they have little kind of masks, like masquerade masks. So just a quick base coat of Celestra Gray, highlight with pallid witch flesh, and they're done. Except for this big guy here I'm working on. He's still need to finish highlighting his hair, which, hey, what's up, Sean? How's it going? Yeah, I've been turning on the live camera basically for kind of motivating or forcing myself to paint instead of just sit here and watch YouTube videos. I was watching a Beavis and Butthead documentary. And although it was pretty entertaining, just a little 20-minute one on YouTube, but I was like, I probably should turn on the stream and get some painting done. What are you working on tonight? Or are you working from home? It's almost 3 a.m. here. Another guy that does really late night streams is that James Wapple. If you've seen him, he's much better than me. I highly encourage you to check him out. He does about like 2-hour streams with a pretty good setup. It's hard to it'd be hard to focus and watch from beginning to end on the stream, but he does paint pretty darn good models in the 2 hours. He'll basically work on like a model and bring it to a pretty high standard in about 2 hours. He has a really cool style. Oh, nice. Are you doing any special thing with the Stormcast? Like when I was working on some of them, I tried doing like a living statue kind of style. It works out okay. They look pretty cool. Or are you going with Angel Cast? What color are you doing the armor? Yeah, when I did the kind of stone cast, I guess you could call it, kind of living statue, it was looking pretty good, but that amount of dry brushing is a little tedious after a while. And every model has 3 or 4 layers of dry brush highlight. And then you got to go in and pick out all the details. I haven't been working on any Sigmar lately. I do have my Slanesh guys I need to finish, but oh, nice. Also, yeah, like they're coming down from the heavens, I guess. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with these masks. They're pretty generic, but whatever. Let's say these guys are done. Got just trying to make sure this little brush here has no pallid witch flesh residue on it with the white ghost brush hairs. It's a little difficult to make sure I can clean off all the white paint. And I don't know if I want to use the zip kicker or just good old-fashioned super glue and time. I think we might go super glue and time. I had a Discord for a while for my Patreon, but nobody ever used it, and I didn't really ever learn how to use it good. So it kind of fell by the wayside. On Facebook, I have both the Redbeard Boss page and Sleepwalk Air, which are both me. All right. We just need to make sure he stands on his own. Now we can glue him. Oh, this is not open yet. I'm surprised I don't have an open super glue around here. Guess we open a new one. Oh. All right, he's standing. Now the next one here. This one I actually accidentally got a bunch of, you can't see. Stained it. When I was painting the rim on the side, I got a bunch of black stain on, try to wash it off. Didn't really work, but hopefully this model's foot can just step right over top of it. And it's almost like it never happened. Okay, he doesn't stand on his own. Let's see if we can pop this guy off. Okay, he stands on his own, but he's not quite covering. These guys I just kind of super glued to the tops of water bottle caps here. Oh wow, he actually, so if you do that, they might pull up the paint they're standing on, which is not ideal. When you're about to glue them to a base, now I gotta figure this out. I think I could go knife or file, and I think I'm gonna choose file. Remove the paint now stuck to this model's feet. Oh, I forgot. Well, I gotta highlight the clown hair. Whatever, he's being glued to his base now, so he can't be highlighted because he's got to dry. What time is it? Hey, it's the weather pig. What's going on? What time is it where you guys are at? The weather pig's in the building. Probably working on some Gundam models instead of the beautiful Primaris Marines. 9 at night, nice. Yeah, it's 3 in the morning here. Figured I was just wasting time on YouTube, and I should get some modeling done. I'm working on RUMBLESLAM models that were going to be played with at Adepticon, but Adepticon got canceled. $304. Oh man, are you in Arizona, Sean? Yeah. What's the model you're working on right now, Weather Pig? It's some big Gundam robot. I don't know anything about those. They don't really interest me that much as far as getting one to build or paint. But I can show you. I actually do. Not happy with that paint coming off his foot, but I think I'm just going to glue it on and pretend it never happened. I have one Bandai model. Oh, you're in Vancouver. It's like the same time zone as Phoenix. I have a Bandai Mega Man. I was going to do him for a diorama. I changed the light so I could see better, which doesn't make the video any better, but it makes me painting and this spacing easier for me, because usually the lights are all set up this way and I would paint this way. But since we got the live stream going, we're going to just paint this way with the light basically blowing out my head, which is fine. All right, so I screwed up on this base and got the black paint around the rim on top of it, and the buildup was with airbrush, and because of that, it's not easy to just redo it because it's lots of layers of, not lots, but enough buildup with airbrush that I tried to quickly use a wet brush and wash off the black paint, which ended up staining the base. And we're just trying to find the best model to stand over top of it, which actually worked out okay. Nice, I'll click over and check that in a second. I'm gonna try and file down this little guy's feet. See if he could stand up on his own. If the model can actually stand up on his own, then when you glue him, it makes it for better contact. Okay, he can't. So we're gonna have to prop him up, unfortunate. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna prop him up. How's actually, I haven't looked in either of your guys' countries. Are you on lockdown? I've been trying to stay up to date on what's happening in China because that's where the ghost brushes are manufactured, but getting information from there doesn't seem super reliable. And then I've been, of course, trying to stay up to date on Arizona because I live here. And then I've been checking in on Italy because it's so crazy and horrific. And you never know if that's going to happen in the United States because we have more known cases. Yeah, we're on here in Phoenix. We're on non-essential businesses closed. So I think that just happened like yesterday or something. So like you nail salons and stuff like that, I guess, are shut down temporarily. All right, that'll work. It's always interesting trying to find ways to prop your models up to get them to glue to their base. Cool. I think they're done. I just got to highlight the big guy's hair. Yeah, it's so crazy because if you look at like Italy, it can get so bad. So you have to be aware of it. I still remember being at the game store when this was going on, while the game stores were still open. We were all chit-chatting about it, like, oh, it's the flu or it's this or that or whatever. Because nobody really knew the severity of it. And then now, I mean, all you have to do is Google coronavirus Italy, and it is crazy over there. So dangerous. Yeah, like I think I'm probably somewhere in the middle. You know, I'm trying to stay home and not hanging out with people. I'm not meeting up with people or nothing like that. I'll go outside and go for a walk if somebody's on the same side of the street. Instead of passing on the sidewalk, I'll cross over because I'm just walking through like a neighborhood. The post office, I wear a mask, and last time I went to the store, I wore a mask and gloves. Unfortunately, the mask I have is my airbrushing mask. So I don't know how good that is to take that out into the public and then bring it home and potentially be using it here at the hobby station. Yeah, the Weather Pig, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Sean, but he has a channel too. He does painting videos and stuff. So you should give him a subscribe if you like Australians. I don't know if you remember the show Flight of the Conchords, but it was always really funny in that TV show. I didn't know anything about Australia really or New Zealand, but they're New Zealanders, and they have quite a feud with the Australians, like a racial tension between the two, kind of a comedic one. Yeah, I've been working from home since I pretty much launched the first Kickstarter of Ghost Brushes. And I do commissions and stuff as well sometimes. Never enough to like pay my rent, but usually just, extra money here and there. And it's just weird though, because I like to go to the gym. I like to go to the grocery store, go wander around Walmart, that kind of stuff. And it's just weird now when you leave the house, you're like, okay, I gotta, if I go to the store, I gotta be careful. I want to, you don't want to hang around. Things are selling out. I eat a ton of fresh produce. So I kind of have to go to the store a lot because it's hard to keep it in the fridge for too long. All right, those guys are going to dry, so we might as well work on something. I got this monster here I could dry brush. Or Could work on my car. Got this little car for Gaslands here. Been working on that. So you do like full army commissions? How long have you been going on that? I like painting people's heroes. Right now I'm painting a friend's Raven Guard army. I'm not charging enough to make me in any rush to do it, or just doing like a couple models at a time. Like I just did Eliminators and just $15 a guy. So $45 for a squad of 3, which they're not terribly long to paint because they have a big cloak over their back. So it's, I don't know, $15. It's not like a great hourly wage, but I'm going to click over here and I see you liked the page, the Redbeard Boss page. Okay, I see you sent a friend request here. Don't see any of the photos yet, though. Not really sure where they got sent. Hey, it's the Brush and Quill. What's going on? Yeah, most of the commissions, like if I do a character, it's usually like $30 to $50. I think I did Shrike for 40 or 50. It's like it's a pretty low stress commission, but at the same time, you know, every moment you're working on other people's models, you're not working on your own. Another thing, I've sold a lot of models for $30 or more, $30 to $50 a piece on eBay, like little D&D characters and D&D monsters, owl bears, WizKid monsters. You know, I sold my Beholder for like $90. So when I could paint up a D&D character and sell it for like at least $30 on eBay, it feels, yeah, like if I'm charging $15 on Eliminator, then that's basically half off as well. Because that could have been time I painted up 3, you know, Reaper Bones characters and sold them for $30 to $50 a piece. Oh, here we go. I see the messages now. Oh, that's cool. It's like airbrushed sky effect. Are you gonna do the rims black? Oh yeah, it really works really good on the big Calvary oval because you got so much more room to sell the star or whatever, the lightning bolt with the different layers of clouds, kind of like the landscape painting style fluffy clouds. Yeah, those are looking cool. I love cool bases. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll have pictures of my clowns, and I try to do kind of a stained wrestling mat kind of thing. They're all being glued on bases right now, but usually I like using textures and stuff. But all right, we got this big monster here. He needs some dry brushing. We just happen to have some ghost dry brushes right here, but I'm not 100% sold on which color I want to go into. But the show must go on, so we're going to just grab one here. Midland Flesh from P3. Got to really shake it up. And get a piece of Taco Bell napkin here to wipe. I haven't been to Taco Bell in weeks. What am I doing with my life? Oh, okay, yeah. I think black would look good. Any kind of dark neutral, I think, looks good. I don't really like when people paint the rim with a color they used on the model. I feel like it takes too much attention away from the eye. But yeah, something kind of dark neutral. Yeah, if you do commission painting, have you ever tried just grabbing like a Reaper Bones model or the Whiz Kids models? Like where is he? I grabbed this little Paladin guy. Let's see where you can see him. Maybe you can kind of see him there. He's like all armor with a shield and sword and a little tabard. He's maybe $3. He's a Crusader champion. Anyway, I could paint him up with metallics and washes and, hopefully get at least $30 on eBay. But I raised my prices on eBay quite a bit on a bunch of halflings I painted, and they have not sold, and they've been up there for a while. So either people don't want to pay that much money for the halflings, or my painting on them's not good enough, or whatever. But I might start lowering the price on them soon to get them moving. But I really raise my price a lot, because if you look on eBay, sometimes things sell for crazy, like $100 models, $300 models sometimes. $300 for a painted model. And it's just like, I don't know, I honestly look at them sometimes and I go, I could do that. So that's what I'm trying to do. But mine are not selling, and I'm not charging $300 yet. But I have sold a lot just since I raised all the prices up. Yeah, I feel like almost, in my experience, it's hard to actually get the good price for people who want their Warhammer armies painted, because they have so many models they know they don't want to pay, necessarily $30 a guy or more. What do you charge per Stormcast? Oh yeah, I got way more stuff to sell than I actually have listed. And actually, if you do it with the app, it's pretty quick to take the photo, upload the photos, type the description, everything right on your phone, right in the, right where you take your photos, maybe in the bathroom or in your paint box, light box. And even then, I still have a hard time forcing myself to, like, I need to sit down and list some stuff for sale. Yeah, I find when I do sell stuff on eBay, though, it's like, I sold a little troll for like $40 or $50, but I can't charge $50 per eliminator. Well, I could, but I just wouldn't be hired for the job. I could say that's my price, which, is maybe worth it to just not do the commissions and work on my paintbrush company instead, or work on my own models because my paintbrush company pays my bills. All right, this little monster's got a dry brush going. Nothing too special on him. While the dry brush is still dirty, I think we might, I don't know. Yeah. Trying to see if there's a flesh tone I want to do here. maybe. All right, what we'll do is one more highlight on this monster. He's not very interesting looking, though. I started him out with contrast turquoise, pterodon turquoise or something. And then this orange ink. Tried to make this really funky, demonic kind of thing, and it was just did not work. Looked like crap. Ended up heavy, wet dry brush. Bugman's Glow, hit him with a wash, and then now he just looks like a generic dry brushed flesh tone monster, which isn't super interesting, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe I can come in with some maybe I come in with a little bit of like dry blood or like some kind of color wash to do his limbs or something. So right now he's not very interesting. I think we're good on dry brushing right now, so we're going to throw that Taco Bell napkin in the trash. Are you still around, Weather Pig, or did you take off? Yeah, and also if you do like a character, like like a Shrike or somebody like that, be curious what you charge as well. I always I don't know, it just always interests me what people charge for their painting. If you have the client paying, you can charge obviously whatever they'll pay. My thing has been more I get commissions if I charge less, and if I charge more, I just basically don't get them. Even though I have won some best painteds and stuff, some awards, that's okay. All right, so we'll set him to the side. Looks like oh, I should have kept that flesh tone out. We'll just go straight for the pot. I had that napkin with all that paint on it, but I need to base coat this female's skin tone here, so we'll go back to the Midland flesh and just do that. I don't really buy P3 paints, but I have quite a bit of them from an army I bought actually, and I do like them quite a bit because they're pretty smooth, straight from the pot. They have pretty good coverage. Apparently you can airbrush with them pretty good. Well, I haven't airbrushed with the P3, I don't think. I haven't actually done anybody's like monster or dragon. One guy at the game store, younger guy, asked me how much I would charge to paint his GW troll monster, one of those Gloomspite Git Trogoth monsters. I told him I'd do it for $50. That was probably a friend price, but it looked like I could actually probably get a lot done with like an airbrush. Although I'm not really interested in becoming really good at the airbrush per se, I'd rather improve my brush painting skills much more than I ever would my airbrushing. I'm not trying to be the best airbrusher in the world. Not necessarily trying to be the best painter in the world, or else I would spend way more time doing it. Some of these guys got to probably paint 6 hours a day or more. which I'm not quite there. And her skin's pretty good, so I think we'll actually use the same skin tone on one of these other characters just while I have it out. Oh yeah, I don't really do any freebies. I have way too many of my own models and miniatures and board game. Oh my God. Board games and things I want to get done so we can play with painted games and stuff. But I always have these wacky ideas. And one of them, which I think would work really well if you stuck to it, would be only spend money on your hobby that you got from, say, painting miniatures that you sold. So for example, if you wanted to buy a $70 model, then you would have to paint and sell a model or two and earn your $70. I think that'd be a good way to approach it. Now, if you're painting full time anyway, that's basically what you're doing. Stupid Norton antivirus always making this noise on my computer ever since I hit re-subscribed. These little board game models I'm working on right now are for the game Deep Madness. I'm about maybe 6 or so models away from finishing painting the entire board game. I have a ton of expansions for it because I backed it on Kickstarter. So you get all the stuff with it. But this way, when we are out of isolation or whatever, and the hobby room and game store opens back up, me and my friends can play a fully painted board game, which will be fun. And I think we're going to go ahead and use this color one more time just because these are board game models and they don't have to be all that special. Yeah. Yeah, I got the, guessing the weather pig left. I don't see him in the chat anymore. Or he's working on some videos of his own. He's always uploading cool painting videos. I wonder actually what time, if I did a stream and got a big chat going, I wonder what time I should do it. Probably more like 7 p.m. or something. Does anybody in the chat right now watch James Wapple on YouTube? Oh yeah, after I get this flesh tone down, I'll check out those photos. Anyway, James Wapple on YouTube does these 2-hour, 2.5-hour painting videos. Basically takes a model from primed to pretty high-end done, completed in about 2 hours. They look really cool. I like his style, the way he paints. He's very painterly. He was a 2D artist before. I also did like oil painting and stuff before, so the way he paints is interesting to me. But he has this like setup that's like a top-down one-piece camera. I can't remember what it was called, but it's for, I think, like office presentations, so it can show your, spreadsheets or papers, and the top-down camera projected on a screen. Anyway, it's like a one-piece camera that he uses for his painting, and he actually gets, pretty good quality. You can see the model's pretty good and everything. So that's kind of interesting to me, since I never really have a good top-down view. I've done a few top-down painting videos, which aren't super great, but to demonstrate things like the new dry brush I have and stuff like that for the Kickstarter. I got a nice camera right there, or nicer than the webcam, but I never turned it on. I don't know how to use it yet, so I also need to figure that out. All right, I think all three of those characters are going to get hit with Flesh Wash from Army Painter. And that will be fine. They all have these crazy boots on, but not a single image of their character sheets show their feet. So I really have no idea what these boots are even supposed to be made out of. Grab the book here, maybe. I mean, eventually I'll just have to pick a color. I'll probably go with like a dark brown contrast paint and just say they're, dark brown boots. Or maybe look up painted models on the Kickstarter. Which actually is not a bad idea. They probably do have some examples of fully painted models from the Kickstarter that I could go look at. Because, of course, the instruction book does not have any photos or any photos of their feet. So that's great. All right, let's look at Sean's. All right, we got some pretty sweet corn guys. Fiery lava corn. It's always good when your lava and fire effects don't look like candy corn. I've definitely had some models where my fire or lava or heat effect turned into kind of a candy corn look. Nice. On some of those black rocks, I think you could hit them with like a dark gray dry brush. That'd be pretty sweet. Because I see these big epic rocks on their bases. Unless you're trying to sell the fact that it's dark in the room and the only light's coming from below, but that's not, or they're glowing weapons, but that's not really true throughout the models. Probably like a dark ashy gray dry brush on the rocks would be pretty sweet. But they look cool. Everybody loves a good lava corn. All right, we are gonna, I haven't used this in a while. Flesh Wash from Army Painter. I think we're really gonna gob it on with our trusty old beat up makeup brush. Look how much gunk is on that thing. I mean, that is gunked up, but it somehow holds a point. So it's a pretty good wash brush for small models for putting the wash. It's a makeup brush, so it's real soft and absorbs a lot of the wash. Still has a little bit of a point, so you can kind of gob that wash into small areas with some control. And actually, we're going to hit her hair with this as well. She's got kind of a red blonde hair going. So a flesh wash will work good for that. Oh yeah, I gave her the dark circles around her eyes. It's funny on the little board game miniatures when you hit them with a wash, you really see like how weak the like facial details and stuff on the models are once it settles into like their somewhat eye socket mouth area. And you're like, oh yeah, it looked a little more like a face when I couldn't actually see what it really looked like. But then you just pick out the highlights on the cheeks, the nose, the chin, and you got a face again. So that's pretty cool. Even if the sculpt isn't good, you can sell it. Or not necessarily the sculpt is bad, it's just these little board game miniatures are small. And they're board game miniatures, so they're in the kind of softer plastic. If you've never tried game or army painters washes, they're very good. I don't use them all the time, but I do like them a lot. And I highly suggest Strong Tone as an alternative color when you're doing something, say you would normally do like a Agrax Earthshade. And it's not as brown-black as Agrax, so it gives you a little different effect. Their dark tone is kind of like their Nuln Oil, but it's not quite as staining as Nuln Oil, so you can get a different effect there. Sometimes you want the staining, sometimes you don't. Currently, I'm using Flesh Wash, which is very probably similar to Reikland Flesh Shade or Sepia Wash. This one, once it runs out, I probably won't buy it again. I feel like I get plenty of this effect with the GW ones or other ones I have, but it's good. If you don't have a flesh wash, this is a good flesh wash. Just seems like I have that kind of situation covered already. Oh, if you like using inks and stuff, and airbrush, you should check out Marco from Not Just Mecha. It's Marco. He does a lot of cool airbrush ink style painting. Speed painting too on his Warcry. I don't necessarily watch all his videos, but his Warcry speed paint ones are really good. Right now I'm just looking for something to weird up my monster. And that is a technical term, to weird it up. And I think how we're going to achieve that is mix dark rust into the remaining flesh wash in my pot, or my little palette here. Hit it with trusty flow improver. Oh yeah, that's working. Then we're going to switch to a bigger wash brush. This is an old beat up GW shade brush. And actually, what are we? Is this open? Oh yeah, we're going to actually hit in an intense red from scale 75, maybe 3 drops. Cool. Let's stir that up. We're making just a dark red, orange, brown mess. Beautiful. It's got this really dark kind of rusty color. Probably can show you on a... not really. It's too bright. Anyway, too bright for you to see. Kind of this red, orange, brown, neutrally kind of color. Maybe mix some water into there too. And I think we're just going to start it off on his hands. No, what we're going to do I think we're going to cover him. All right. Taking Flow Improver, we're putting it in its own water bottle lid. Just straight Flow Improver. I'm going to use this mixed ink wash on this model to dab it on his hands, his face. He has many faces. It's a good rust wash here. Maybe on his, I don't know. Okay, so we're kind of mixing it, and we'll kind of bring it down his back a little bit, on the faces on his back. Now we're going to go straight into the Flow Improver and use that to pull this wash around the model. Hopefully it leaves the areas it started a little more washed. And I'm pulling it away from those areas to just gently stain other areas. Hopefully using all this Flow Improver. And it's working pretty good. Looking pretty cool. I think we'll put more of the wash straight onto his tail. Straight wash onto his tail. We'll darken that all out. And what I've done is I've just created my own wash or ink kind of mixture. It's kind of a dark rust. I'm just playing with it. It's a really good thing about board game miniatures, or you don't have to repeat this over and over again like you would army painting. So you can just mix up some muddy colors and just have at it. And this actually is working pretty cool. I'm occasionally dipping in to put a little more color into some areas. And I think we about did it. The reason I'm using this old beat up brush is because I'm not being careful. Purple? Nah, I didn't do any purple. I actually don't know if I have a single like purple model. Talking to Mythos the other day from Frost and Fist channel, and he likes purple. It's like his go-to, and I was thinking about it. I don't think I have a purple model. All right, yeah, this guy's a fleshy weirdo. That's good. While we have this rust color available, I think we're going to go ahead and throw it onto our Gaslands car here on the metals as a kind of traditional rust wash. Which all of this is subject to change on Gaslands because there's a lot of weathering and stuff, so it's fun. You can just slop paint around until you get happy with something. All right, they are now hit with this kind of red-orange rust wash. I think we're going to do the same on my Piranha car here. Hit the rims. Oh, yeah. Hit this kind of engine area back here. This is one of the advantages of trying to finish all the projects on your desk to clear it off, is you get to work on multiple things, and then when you have some extra color, you're just like, oh, let me just throw it on these things. Plus having really loose kind of projects like a Gaslands car. And we might actually throw this into the fins on the car. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Cool. Maybe put a little of it near his kind of mouth. Just kind of pulling it away. Basically, we're creating a mess, but that's intentional because these are beat up apocalyptic cars. We want them to look weird and dirty and grimy. So that's cool. That worked out good. While we're at it, we're going to take another Gaslands car and slopping it on this guy's rims. On spikes on the front. Yeah, I want to do some turquoise metallic Eldar swooping hawks. I think that'll be cool. Oh, we got kind of a food truck here. This is a Gaslands car. A lot of these get dry brushed and stuff so many times. These ones, normally I'm really fast. I can paint a Gaslands car pretty darn quick, make it look really cool, I think. But these ones, I've been trying some new stuff, and they've been going much slower. But I'm sure a lot of that is, well, a lot of it's just dry time because I'm using heavy washes on them. Now we got options here on what to do with this remaining wash. I kind of like it. Let me see if I have. Okay. So I have these little jars, and they're got kind of the rubber top, which I've shown before. If I make a wash that I like, I put them in the little jar. These washes are just generic, dark, neutral kind of colors. And I'm going to use this little pipette and fill my little jar. Felt like there was more on the palette than what's actually going in this jar. So what we're gonna do, we got the wash in the jar here. It's not a lot. I'm rinsing out my pipette in my water cup. But what we're gonna do is just continue that a bit. So we're gonna hit it. I'm gonna make this wash a permanent thing, or not a permanent, but just for a while. So I'm gonna add flesh wash into it. Nice squirt. Good old trusty dark rust from Vallejo. Into the pot. Ink Tense Red from Scale 75. And a hit of water. It's nice. Make it more wash-like. Always got to add Flow Improver. Such a great product from Vallejo. And boom. Cut the lid on. shake it up. And we have our very own kind of red, orange rust wash, but more red on the kind of red scale. So we can use that for something in the future. That'll go right over there. So that's how you can make a wash. That'd be a good YouTube video probably if I just showed somebody how to do that. Yeah, those, I can't remember where I got them. It was like a 6-pack maybe? But they're, I really don't know where I got them. But they're hard plastic, like you can hear them, with kind of a rubber top with the tab on it. You can see the tab, so it's very similar. Obviously it comes all the way off, but it's similar to like a, you know, normal paint pot. And I'll keep those out because maybe I'll actually do a video on it. I don't remember exactly where I got them though. I'll have to try to look that up. Probably a dollar store or a Michael's or a Harbor Freight, or possibly the, actually, honestly, I think it might have been the dollar store because that's where I get these. And these are little rectangle like mini wavy plates for hors d'oeuvres or whatever. But what I do, so I got a whole bunch of mini wavy plates. They're $1. Here's what they look like. But that kind of waviness to them, actually, if you can tell, each corner makes them very good to pour from because they have this wave where all the corners extend. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but it makes them good to, like, you can mix colors for your airbrush in here and pour it right into the airbrush cup. I don't do it all the time, and actually if I use one of these, even though I get them from the dollar store and I have a whole bunch, I do rinse them off and reuse them because I don't like just throwing things away for no reason. Here's one that I have filled with dry pigment, and I can just add airbrush thinner to this one, and that pigment will reactivate, and I can stab it onto my Gaslands cars, or I can stab it onto some kind of Mars brush base. And obviously the light's so bright, can't really see. But yeah, I think those little rubber top things, I think you get 6 of them for $1 if I remember correctly. And they're in the same area of like the dollar store where you can find like something like this, like the craft area. There'll be little packs of popsicle sticks, googly eyes, colored pipe cleaners, squeeze applicator bottles, like little wooden pallets and little, you know, paint trays and, you know, that kind of stuff. So check your like local dollar store. And yeah, I didn't know about, I had them for a way longer time. I just started using them and I made so much wash for a model. And then I was like, you know, I wonder if I could save that because it just seemed weird dumping it out. And then I remembered I had these little perfect cups that have airtight caps. And this one now, it's been quite a few weeks and it's still clearly very liquid in there. You can shake them. So I really like that. I think I might explore that more in the future. Mixing maybe my own different colors. Oh yeah, you said something about doing like a Discord thing. How would the Discord be different than doing this? Doing like a Discord hangout over doing this kind of hangout. I wouldn't mind doing like a Google hangout where hey, you got the Stormcast guys on the bases now. That's sweet. where like if you watch Warhammer Weekly or some of those shows where they have multiple people on camera chit-chatting, I think that could be fun. Well, that's cool. You got the plague sensor from Skaven. Nice. Like the green-yellow effect. You can talk into Discord. I didn't even know. I've only used it a couple times and I typed. Thought it was a chat room. Well, if you have no inclination to play Gaslands, but you want to paint up a car, Hot Wheels are only $1. So you can get your Hot Wheel, glue your bits on it, your machine guns and stuff. And then you could try to sell them for $30 or so on eBay. So that'd be a good reason to paint one up. The game's really popular right now. It's kind of like a trending game. Products, while the store was open, were selling really fast at the local game store I play at. A lot of people getting into it because it's so cheap. $30 book. And then breakfast. It's 4 a.m. Seems like second dinner. All right, we got clowns. I think we need one more coat of black around the rim of their bases. Wouldn't mind doing, actually maybe we could do that right now. We're gonna make, oh, this sucks. All right, so oh, this is really gummed up. Molten bronze from P3. I don't know, I got a Gaslands car here with kind of a gold grill on it. I wonder if there's a way I can make this show up on camera. Nah. Trying to find if there's a sweet spot where maybe we'll show up without. I don't know. Anyway, it's got kind of a gold grill with kind of a highlight on the tops of it. And we're going to take a real beat up nasty brush here. Extra beat up. We're going to use this gummed up molten bronze. I guess we'll just mix it right into our Flow Improver wash cup that's kind of drying. All right. And then I think we'll go with, we're going to go with transparent burnt umber. So mixing the transparent burnt umber with the molten bronze to create a dark, nasty, kind of metallic color. Which actually looks really pretty good. That's interesting. And we're going to just use that to create some more kind of definition in the color here. Maybe use my finger to kind of push it around a little bit. Would have been good to probably use a sponge. But we're trying to create a shadow. So the metallic here has a mid-tone, a shadow, and a real sharp highlight, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we might use that and just, no, I don't know. No, we're not going to use it on that. I do like that effect, though. It's pretty cool. Now, I think we'll take a little more burnt umber. See if we can go. It really works really well. Like, looks really good. Let's go try and make an even darker shadow color for the metallic here. It looks like this rich bronzy gold color. Hopefully I remember this and use it for something in the future. All right, that looks pretty cool. And while we have it out, I guess maybe we'll use it on the kind of gold features of this car. Yeah, how's the UK lockdown going? Hopefully you and your family are being safe. Luckily, with our hobby, we always have plenty to do if we're at home. But sometimes when it's stressful, it's easy to just watch TV or something instead. I'm trying really hard to come out of this kind of self-isolation better than before. Kind of my plan. So I've been doing a lot of home workouts and trying to eat real healthy and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, do we want to put any on this car? Yeah, maybe we'll put some on the car. Just kind of directing it towards the bottom of his wheels. Yeah, it's kind of fun doing these little streams. I know they're not maybe the most entertaining thing in the world, but literally I'd be sitting here watching YouTube and just all of a sudden 2 hours go by and I still haven't even turned on my lamp to paint. So when I turn on the stream and start painting, I feel like I get a lot done. And thanks for everybody, of course, for hanging out with me, because that's what makes it. If nobody joins the chat, then I might just have turned off the stream and went back to watching YouTube. Basically, I'm just creating a mess in a good way. Well, the idea is hopefully it's in a good way. I may switch the stream or switch my camera setup back to where I can do kind of a top-down view, where I have set up some boxes behind the computer here, and take the tripod apart, set up the camera so it's facing down, flip it and reverse it. And then I can actually show more of the painting on the screen, but I won't be in the picture, which might actually be more entertaining though, but maybe feel less like a hangout. Don't know what people would prefer. if I reset up to the top down too, maybe I'll shoot some painting videos. I'm gonna go grab a finished model real quick. I got this clown here. It's really a pain when you're like, I got this, and then you can't show it. But I noticed he's got one little spot on his rim of his base, which doesn't have a even enough black coat. So I think we're gonna paint the rims of my clowns now. Make sure I had kind of bronze. So I've been getting kind of messy with my Gaslands cars. I gotta make sure my hands are not gonna put brass speckles on my clown skin. All right. That seems good. Now where is my black paint? There it is. I love the P3 Thamar black for the rims of my bases. It's usually thin enough where you can thin it just a little to get your bases in just one coat right around the rim. It's probably true with any black paint, but this one just seems thin enough that it works good. The downside of painting the rim of this clown, this finished one, again, is I have to matte coat him again. And I'm not 100% sure what the effects of a second coat of the ultra flat will have. Which means if he gets way more matte than the other clowns, who would only have been sprayed once, then I'd have to spray them again. Either way, we'll find out tomorrow when they get sprayed. What are you working on tonight, Brush? Painting an army or Golden Demon entry, maybe? You know, that's actually pretty smart. I think, honestly, once you said that, I honestly think that's what I was thinking I was going to do when I was looking at the rim of that base the last couple days, realizing I needed to touch up one spot. And then it totally left my mind. So yeah, that's actually good. Maybe I'll just paint the matte varnish on his rim because he's already been sprayed. And then I can just spray the rest of the guys and hopefully they all look even. He's like a star player. I don't even think he's a clown. And I don't even think he actually can be used for the clown team. But I don't really know the game rules. So I painted him kind of same. He's a little different. So if he can be used, he matches. And if he can't, maybe one day he'll end up for sale on eBay. Last year at Adepticon, I bought a bunch of RUMBLESLAM models. This year, I was going to play, so I got a bunch of stuff. I don't really know how to play or anything yet. And then with Adepticon canceled, unless me and my buddy end up playing at our local game store, I'll have to wait until next Adepticon, I guess. What's a DZC commander? Is that a historical model? Ooh. Got a little bit of black paint on his shoe. But I really want to be done with these guys, so we're going to highlight the clown hair, spray them tomorrow, put them away. These models would have been done before I went to Adepticon, but once it got announced that it was canceled, I lost motivation. I was only painting them in an attempt to win. Well, painting them to play at Adepticon and trying to paint them well in an attempt to win Best Painted if that was an award for the event. And then once it got canceled, it was like, well, I don't know how much time I want to spend on these guys. Not even knowing if there'll be a RUMBLESLAM event at next year's Adepticon or, so far away. Who knows what's going to happen? Oh, Drop Zone Commander. Oh, yeah, I'd seen people play that a couple times a while ago, and then it just never took off at the store. I think he ended up having to put all the models on clearance and get rid of them all. All right, well, I got the black out. I might as well paint this guy's base again. These board game miniatures with the quick Gracie or Prime are basically taking 2 coats of this black for some reason. I think it's a combination of that really slick Gracie or Primer I've been playing with, and then just the quality of the plastic maybe. Have you played RUMBLESLAM? One of the reasons I liked it, I was going to just paint up a lot of the guys to sell, and I thought that would be cool. And one of the things I liked about it is like when I was there at Adepticon, and a character is like $8 or whatever. So it's kind of nice that you can buy, you buy your team and these characters. They're only $10. Sometimes you want to break from Games Workshop where now they're deciding that characters are $40, which has all their recent price increases have made me spend way less money on their products. because it really reminded me that I have many, many GW products that are still unpainted. So I might as well be working on the ones I have instead of buying new ones. Be curious what's going to go on the preview next week. We got maybe probably the rest of the cow elves. There's probably a few more models they haven't shown yet. Gotta assume anyway. Plus, there's definitely going to be, well, maybe not definitely, but I would expect to see some Necromunda and Blood Bowl at the Saturday preview. I would also, they said this was supposed to be some really big, crazy preview. And the last one with the elves and stuff didn't seem all that big and crazy. So maybe there's a new edition of 40K coming. That would be big and crazy. Or some brand new game, which I don't think they need even more games, but yeah, I mean, I could stop buying it, and I have so much stuff to paint. Not even like boycotting the company. I could literally work on just GW products and still, yeah, probably go years without actually needing to buy anything besides an occasional rule book, which is my least favorite thing to spend money on. I hate buying supplement books and rule books. Models at least hold their value. In many cases, if you paint them good, go up in value. Books become trash. Which I'm torn because I love that Necromunda has been getting support, but at the same time, the way they release these like $40 books with just about the bare minimum you need, like it's like enough in the book that you want to buy it, but not enough to need to buy. Like it's like just enough content that you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get it. I haven't actually bought any of the new Necromunda books for a while. I'm like 4 or 5 behind. Which then you're like, oh, okay, if I want to catch up on Necromunda, I'm $200 behind on books, which I have no desire to spend. At least not right now. And I love Necromunda. I think they did a good job on the current edition. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I don't have any interest in the historical games. There is a group that plays on Friday nights at the game store I play at. They look like they're having fun. Sometimes they just argue with each other, and they'll play for like 3 hours, and it looks like nothing even moved. I've seen them set up these huge Civil War games, and they'll play all day on a Saturday, like 2 tables stuck together, and basically the whole time spent doing nothing, it seems like, and then they just kind of talk out what they think would have happened if they ever got to it, even though they played for 5 hours. Nothing happened. But they've been playing since as long as I can remember, so they enjoy it, obviously. And they all have painted armies. They play a ton of different games, too, and like all kinds of different eras and different historical battles, Navy, airships, 40, or not 40K, like Zulu Warriors and Scotsmen and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I've been lucky. I don't actually play at a Games Workshop store. I'm glad, because their stores seem very crappy. Like they have, I mean, I think I'm spoiled because our store has like 15 tables. Now let's see, 1, 2, maybe 12 to 15 gaming tables, like 8x4 or whatever. So we got a ton of space. There's also a separate room with like 5 different painting tables, a separate side for the store. But yeah, GW stores don't even have like chairs. Seems like they don't even want you to sit and hang out. They're like concrete floors with all the tables have that like plastic battle board on it, so all the dice rattles really loud. But yeah, I could see that if your local area that you'd like to play is a Games Workshop store. Store in Goodyear banned a kid. I guess he's a guy. He's in his 20s, not a kid. But for being too depressed, he got like a 3-month ban, and he's there all the time. He banned him for being too depressed, and he suffers from depression. So it's like, well, that's kind of a jerk thing to do. Although, of course, if he was being negative about the GW products, they gotta toe the company line, of course. So maybe it was justified. I wasn't there. The previous manager of that store got fired in Goodyear, and he wouldn't even allow Sisters of Battle, the metal Sisters of Battle Games Workshop models, because he wasn't allowed to sell the mail order only metal Sisters of Battle, so he couldn't use them in his store. I think there was some other things that probably got him fired, but I think people complaining about that didn't help. Also, I never been to the store, so this is all just stuff I hear, game store gossip. Yeah, I think they have a extreme, well, I don't know if it's extreme, but their store managers, like, I think they're, well, first of all, like, isn't it basically like one employee per store? They like work 6 days a week and get 1 day off, or the store's just closed, or maybe they work 5 days a week and one other employee works 2 days. Something crazy. They don't have a lot of employees. I know that. And then I think they have like a quota of how many like starter boxes they need to sell, like Dark Imperiums or whatever every month. And I think the one in Scottsdale, Arizona is one of the actually most popular or maybe most successful GW stores, I believe I heard, that it sells a lot of product. But yeah, that's definitely probably kind of stressful to be a retail employee forced to sell starter boxes all day long. Every time a kid walks in, you got to try to get his parents to pick up the starter box for your job security. Oh yeah, so in that store too, maybe they would have not allowed the metal Sisters of Battle before the new ones came out. I thought that was just a unique thing to the guy at the Goodyear store in Arizona, Goodyear, Arizona. All right, I think we can just hit this guy's clown hair with some little highlights. Just some kind of unique red would be fine. Maybe we'll go bloody red from Game Air here. Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes people would call me the salty channel because I do like rant videos. And so I don't always do them, but I do like talking about those sort of things. Part of me wants to like not say bad things about Games Workshop because then maybe one day I could get free codexes sent to me. But I'm very, very far from that ever becoming a reality. And I'm not really a codex review channel. I think ultimately I'll just one day be mostly a painting channel, whereas now I'm kind of a talking head about painting, when it'd probably be more valuable to the viewer if they could actually just see what I was painting all the time. Oh my Lord. Just putting some little highlights and some clown hair here. And that was barely showing up. Almost a complete waste of time. So we'll switch over to just Vallejo Mecha Red. I don't know if it helps the little streams here, but if you haven't and you like what we're doing here, give me a thumbs up. I see it have 2 thumbs up. I've never seen that before. Thank you to whoever gave me thumbs up. Just putting another highlight. Trying to focus it kind of towards the center of his big dumb head. Have you been to Warhammer World? I don't know how many hours away that is from London. I've been to London once when I was 18, like 16 years ago or something. I went to the Piccadilly Circus or Piccadilly Square or something like that. All right, I think his little clown hair is fine. We'll call that done. I think the clowns are done. RUMBLESLAM done. Matt code them tomorrow. And get some pictures of them up on my Instagram. Oh. Oh yeah, if you're a Bretonian player, you're definitely not happy with Games Workshop. Luckily, I was a Dogs of War player, and it was so many years ago when they totally got rid of the Dogs of War army. They were all mostly humans, and I used them just for an Empire army, so I didn't totally lose out. It's funny when I have the nice brush, try to keep it really nice, and then once it gets a little messed up, you kind of get a little rougher with it as it gets more messed up, and so on and so forth. Then you end up with a beat up one. Although even some of my beat up ones, like this one here with the chipping in the handle, still holds a pretty good point. Still good for painting a lot, just not sharp line highlights. What do we got next? Looks like this guy's pretty cool. There's not a lot going on this model, though. Doesn't have a lot of interest. I think we might hit him with drying blood. No, we're gonna go Ruby Wash from Secret Weapon. And just put it on some of his hands. He's got a whole bunch of hands. Slightly controlled. Just to give him some sort of interest. It's pretty boring right now, just very fleshy. So at least if he has red hands, looks like something's happening. Like maybe he's touching something gross. Well, that's a foot. Oh well, I guess all the little hands and feet sticking out of him will get washed with the Ruby Wash from Secret Weapon. No, it's a Zevia ginger root beer. It's like a soda sweetened with stevia leaf extract. No sugar, no caffeine. I quit caffeine, so I will drink a root beer, but I'm trying to get rid of sugar. I'm also trying to get rid of these fake sugars like that stevia. I don't do like diet sodas necessarily, but I'll do stevia. But I'm trying to kind of get rid of that too. So I have them right now. I don't know if I'll buy more. Although it's pretty good. I also have the Zevia grape soda. And I put way too much wash. Okay, he's pretty cool. Maybe he's done. I put a little too much of this Ruby Wash in my palette here, and I don't want to waste it. So we're going to open up that dark red wash we made earlier. And if my little pipette, oh yeah, we're just going to slurp it out of the palette. And add it to this. It's already just a dirty red wash anyway. So making it a little dirtier and a little redder doesn't hurt anything. And we save our paint. Not like I have any shortage of paint. I'm literally surrounded by it. But I don't know. Well, this one kind of made a mess. All right, wiped it down. Okay, I wiped it down, yet it's still dirty. I love Bob Ross. I used to watch him after school sometimes. All right, I think we're about done. Well, we got about 8 minutes to coming up on 2 hours. So we might call it a day at 8 minutes. Maybe we can put something. Oh, this guy's got a black shirt. So maybe, I think I have the black contrast paint. Maybe try that. Oh yeah, I do. I'm gonna try that black contrast paint on this guy's shirt. She's got a black t-shirt, huh? I picked up the GW Gracier primer to try it out with the contrast paints like they market it. And it is pretty, it works pretty good. I think there's definitely a little bit of a gloss. I don't know if it's gloss or wet finish to the primer. It's a little hydrophobic almost. That actually makes the contrast paint work a little better than when I was using it over my Zenithal airbrush prime stuff. I really, really do like the contrast paints. Mainly because it gives me like a, almost like an oil paint kind of feel that you're painting with wet paint and moving it around. I think it has a really good use for blocking in colors on a model. Like painting this guy's black shirt right now in black contrast paint is going to give me a lot more interest than if I just base coated it black. Similar though, if I had base coated it gray and then black washed it with Nuln oil or something. But there's a good chance that I mean, I don't even think I have to do anything else on him. I think that's going to dry pretty cool. Without any extra work. That'll give me a, I'll put a little highlight on it when he's ready for that. Yeah, I do think the contrast paints are worth their while. They're a little expensive, I guess. You don't need to buy every color. But I've been having quite a bit of fun with them. I kind of like them. I've been using them for a little while now. Can't even say I kind of like them. I do like them. No complaints about the contrast paint. Except I have not had any real success with Apothecary White yet. So one day the Apothecary White will work. and actually look good. I don't know if it's because mine's all dried up at the bottom. I don't know if you can, probably can't see it. Just like a white film on the bottom. This one has it too. You can definitely see it there. It's like white, but it's a dark green one. See that white film? It's definitely some kind of design problem with their product. It's probably the contrast medium somehow drying at the bottom of the pot. I put some little agitators in there, but don't seem to ever remove that white crap from the bottom. So, all right, I think that's about all we got. We got about 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left. Yeah, that's painting and hanging out with me. Not the most exciting thing anybody's ever done, but hopefully it was more fun than painting alone. I need to clean my glasses. I wonder I can't see anything. My glasses are dirty. Looks like we're almost coming up on 5 in the morning, so maybe I have to find a movie or TV show and try to fall asleep soon. I don't necessarily have to leave the house tomorrow, which is good. I got food, so that's good. But yeah, I think that's all we got. I appreciate everybody hanging out. It definitely gets me a little more motivated to get stuff done. I probably wanted to put all these washes and stuff on these different things. I probably would have just finished the little masks on my characters and then went to sleep. I just realized I got to do this clown's mouth because he actually has his teeth showing, which is something I'll probably do tomorrow. So thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. And I'll see you in the comments. Adios.